Chai beloved, thank you for gathering here today. I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to speak to such a distinguished group of professionals, individuals who lead, inspire, and shape the very fabric of our generation. Today, I want to talk about something that transcends titles, industries, and backgrounds. It's a force that has shaped destinies, healed wounds, and opened doors that seemed forever locked. That force is grace. Specifically, the power of grace as revealed in the Bible and its profound relevance for our generation. Let's start with a question. Have you ever wished for a fresh start or longed for a second chance, either in your career or personal life? I know I have. In a world that often feels driven by competition, perfectionism, and relentless pressure to succeed, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. We are told to be flawless, to never make mistakes, to always have the answers. But what if I told you that the very thing we need most isn't perfection, but grace? Introduction. The unseen power. There's a story I heard not long ago about a young professional. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah was ambitious, talented, and eager to prove herself. But after a big project went awry, she found herself facing criticism, self-doubt, and even isolation from her peers. She questioned her worth, felt unworthy of forgiveness, and struggled to move forward.
Grace is not about what you deserve, it's about what you're given.
That, in essence, is the heart of grace. And that is what I want to explore with you today. How the power of grace, as outlined in the Bible, can bring about positive thinking, resilience, and transformation, not just for individuals like Sarah, but for our entire generation. Body. The gift of grace in the Bible. Grace is, quite simply, unearned favor. It's a gift, not a wage. The Bible says in Ephesians 2:8-9, "For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast." Pause for a moment and let that sink in. In a performance-driven society, the idea that something so valuable, acceptance, forgiveness, love, can't be earned but is simply given, sounds almost too good to be true. Yet, this is the radical message of grace. Let's look at some biblical figures who experienced grace firsthand. 1. The story of Paul, from persecutor to preacher. Consider the Apostle Paul. Before he became one of the most influential figures in the early church, Paul, then Saul, was a persecutor of Christians. By every standard, he was undeserving of God's favor. Yet, in a moment of blinding light on the road to Damascus, Paul encountered grace. His past mistakes did not define his future. Instead, grace transformed him into a leader who changed the world. In 1 Corinthians 15:10, Paul writes, "But by the grace of God, I am what I am, and His grace to me was not without effect." Paul's story is a reminder that grace is not just a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's a transformative power that equips us to rise above our failures and become more than we ever imagined. 2. The woman caught in adultery. Mercy over judgment. In John 8, we find the story of a woman caught in the act of adultery. According to the law, she deserved punishment. The crowd was ready to stone her. But Jesus said, "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." One by one, the crowd dispersed. Jesus did not condemn her, but offered her grace and a new beginning, saying, "Go now and leave your life of sin." This story is more than an ancient account. It's an invitation. How often do we judge ourselves and others harshly for mistakes? What would happen if we extended grace instead? 3. The prodigal son. The welcome home. Luke 15 tells the story of the prodigal son, a young man who squandered his inheritance in reckless living. When he finally returned home, expecting to be shamed or rejected, his father ran to him, embraced him, and threw a celebration. No lectures, no conditions, just grace. How many times have we, as professionals, feared returning after a setback? How many times have we hesitated to admit our mistakes, worried about rejection? The story of the prodigal son reminds us that grace is always waiting, arms open wide. Grace for this generation. Why it matters. Now you might be thinking, these are beautiful stories, but what do they mean for us today? in boardrooms, conference calls, or team meetings? The answer is simple yet profound. Our generation, perhaps more than any other, needs grace. We face unique challenges, rapid technological change, constant comparison, anxiety over the future. We are connected 24/7, yet loneliness and burnout are at an all-time high. Grace is the antidote. It gives us permission to be human, to try, fail, and try again. It empowers us to extend kindness to ourselves and others. It fuels positive thinking, not by ignoring problems, but by believing in the possibility of change. Rhetorical questions to reflect on. Let me ask you, what could your workplace look like if grace was more common than criticism? How would your life change if you truly believed you are more than your mistakes? What could our generation achieve if we chose to uplift rather than tear down? Relatable examples from professional life. I remember a colleague who made an error that cost the company time and resources. Instead of reprimanding her, our team leader gathered everyone and said, "We all make mistakes. What matters is how we learn and support each other." That act of grace transformed the team's morale and productivity. Or consider the leader who, after years of striving for perfection, realized that vulnerability, admitting when he didn't have all the answers, invited collaboration and innovation. Grace, in those moments, became the catalyst for growth, the call to positive thinking. Grace also shifts our mindset. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, we begin to see what's possible. Philippians 4:8 encourages us. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Positive thinking, rooted in grace, is not about ignoring reality. It's about choosing hope over despair, solutions over problems, and possibility over limitation. It's about believing that our best days are still ahead, no matter our past. Practical ways to live out grace. So, how do we, as professionals, infuse grace into our daily lives? 1. Forgive quickly. Don't let grudges weigh you down. Colossians 3:13 says, "Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you." 2. Speak words of life. Encourage rather than criticize. Proverbs 16:24 tells us, "Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones." 3. Lead with empathy. Try to understand before you judge. Walk in someone else's shoes. 4. Embrace imperfection. Remember, grace is for the imperfect. Don't be afraid to show your humanity. 5. Celebrate comebacks. Create a culture where second chances are given and celebrated. A sense of urgency. Friends, the world is watching our generation. Will we be known for our achievements or for how we treat others? Will we perpetuate cycles of judgment or will we break them with grace? The choice is ours, and the impact is immeasurable. Conclusion: the lasting impression. As I close, let me remind you, grace is not weakness. It is strength under control. It does not ignore justice, but it tempers it with mercy. It does not condone failure, but it redeems it. Imagine a world where grace is the default, where mistakes are met with understanding, where every person is valued, and where hope is stronger than fear. This is not just a dream, it's a calling, and it starts with us, right here, right now. So, as you return to your teams, your families, and your communities, I challenge you. Be agents of grace. Offer forgiveness freely. Speak life. Lead with empathy. Embrace your own story, flaws and all. And above all, remember the words of 2 Corinthians 12:9. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Let us be a generation marked not by our perfection, but by our grace.